Wake up, motherfucker!
What the fuck?
Did you kill my son? And leave his body at my doorstep?
Hell no, that wasn't me.
I don't believe you.
Victor, what are you gonna do? Finish the job. What the fuck?
Jake is shot? Are you serious right now? After everything he's been through, after finally starting to build something for himself, this is how it goes down? The Chai Season 7 Episode 4 trailer just dropped, and it's got us shook. Blood, betrayal, and heartbreak all wrapped into one explosive episode. Reg is back, and he's not here to reconnect. He's here for war. Nuck won't back down, and now Jake's caught right in the middle of a storm that could destroy everything. And with Mother's Day coming up, emotions are already boiling. The trailer hints at something big, something violent, and we can't ignore the signs anymore. This season just flipped into chaos, and Jake's life is on the line. Let's talk about the biggest bombshell first. Jake getting shot. Yeah, that's the image haunting fans right now. You see a flash, a struggle, and then the sound that stops your heart. The trailer doesn't give us a full answer, but the clues are there. Reg is back and already making reckless moves. He's been gone for years, and now he's trying to pick up where Dada left off. Only he doesn't care about the damage he's leaving behind. He drags Jake straight into his plan like nothing's changed. Like Jake's just supposed to forget everything. His clothing brand, his future, his growth, and fall in line. And the worst part? Jake does follow him. At first. Because despite everything, Reg is still his brother. That bond runs deep, even when it hurts. But that loyalty, it's exactly what might cost Jake his life. Because Reg is reckless, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the crossfire. And now it looks like Jake might be the first one to pay the price for Reg's thirst for power. Meanwhile, let's not forget what this episode is really called: Mother's Day. That alone tells you we're not just dealing with bullets and betrayal. We're dealing with heartbreak, grief, and the rawest kind of emotion. Emid is hosting all his baby mamas, Tiff, Kesha, Neva, and Shay, under one roof. Now, that sounds like a setup for drama, right? But there's something more going on. These women aren't just sharing stories, they're building something. A sisterhood, maybe? A blended family, possibly. Because Season 7 has made one thing clear: the women are done being quiet. They're stepping up, supporting each other, and taking back their power. Tiff's pregnancy is still fragile, and she's struggling, but Kesha's big heart might just hold the group together. This gathering could be the beginning of a new kind of family, a powerful one. But the peace won't last long. Because while the mothers are finding strength together, another mother is about to let the pain consume her. Alicia. Her name alone makes people tense up. She's not just grieving. She's turning that grief into something terrifying. She's gathering mothers who've lost their children. She's planning something. You remember the trailer, right? That scene with the long table, Alicia speaking to a room full of broken women. That wasn't just a support group. That was a war council. She doesn't just want answers anymore. She wants vengeance. And it doesn't matter who gets caught in the path. If she even thinks Jake is connected to her son's death, if she hears the wrong thing about Reg or Nuck, it's over. Alicia has nothing left to lose, and that makes her more dangerous than any gangster out there. When a mother becomes a weapon, nobody's safe. At the same time, Victor's trying to keep things from falling apart. He was the rock Jake leaned on when Reg disappeared. He helped him grow into something better, something stronger. And now that Reg is back, Victor knows exactly what's at stake. He sees the storm coming. That's why he warns Reg to stay away from Jake. He knows his brother too well. Reg talks about loyalty and family, but his actions scream control and ambition. Victor doesn't buy the whole, "I've been looking out for you" story. He knows Reg didn't come back for Jake. He came back for power. And the second Victor sees Jake getting pulled into the mess, you can see it in his eyes. He's ready to do whatever it takes to protect him. Even if that means taking down Reg. Even if that means making a deal with someone like Nuck. Because when push comes to shove, Victor will never let Jake fall. But what if he's already too late? Because the way this episode is set up, you can feel it building toward a breaking point. The family dinners, the revenge plots, the quiet moments of hope, they're all leading to a disaster. And Jake? He's right at the center. Reg doesn't see the weight he's putting on his little brother. He thinks Jake's just going to fall in line, but Jake's not a kid anymore. He's got dreams, he's got goals, and he's got something to lose now. And that's what makes this even more painful, because when the bullets start flying, and we know they will, it's going to hit harder than ever before. If Jake gets shot, it won't just be another gangland hit. It'll be the breaking of something beautiful, a future cut short, a legacy ruined by the past. Let's not pretend this war isn't already underway. Reg made his first move the moment. He stepped out of the shadows. He came back like a ghost, but not the kind that haunts. He's the kind that kills. And it's clear now, he's not here to play family. He's here to take back control, and he doesn't care who gets hurt. His target? Nuck. The man who took over after Dada's death, who's been holding the streets down with his own rules. But Reg? He doesn't respect those rules. He thinks because he used to run things, the streets are still his. And that arrogance, that's going to be his downfall. Reg is already pushing too far too fast. He walks in like he owns the place, demands a meeting with Nuck, and acts like Jake is just another pawn. That's the problem with Reg. He sees people as tools, and he thinks Jake's loyalty is guaranteed. But what he doesn't get is Jake's been building something real. His clothing brand, his relationship, his future. And Reg has got no place in it. Still, Jake's trapped. That's the part that hurts the most. You can see it in his eyes. He wants to believe in Reg. He wants that big brother who always had his back. But that Reg is gone. If he ever really existed. The man standing in front of Jake now is a stranger, a threat wrapped in nostalgia. And Jake, as strong as he's become, is still vulnerable to that pull. Reg knows just how to twist the knife. Talk about family, talk about honor, talk about Dada. And before Jake can even think, he's in the car, driving to Nuck's turf. That's how it happens. That's how you end up standing in the middle of a war zone before you even realize you've picked a side. And that's where we might lose Jake. Because this isn't just a disagreement. It's not words anymore. Guns are coming out, lines are being crossed, and Reg is dragging Jake across them. And what about Nuck? He's no saint, but he's not stupid. He's seen men like Reg before. Desperate for power, reckless with their lives, and too blind to see the blood trail they leave behind. Nuck's built his empire quietly, methodically. He's made deals, built alliances, kept things under control. And now Reg shows up thinking he can flip the table? Nah, Nuck's not about to let that slide. He's watching Reg closely, and he knows Reg is coming for his spot. What Reg doesn't know is Nuck's already planning his counterattack. He might not be flashy, but he's lethal. And if Reg makes one wrong move, tries to push Jake into something, threatens his business, or comes for his people, Nuck's going to respond. And it won't be subtle. The Chi has never been subtle about how things end when power gets challenged. Someone always bleeds. The question now is, who bleeds first? And let's not forget what's brewing in Alicia's world. That storyline is creeping in slowly, like a storm cloud you didn't see coming. She's gathering mothers. Mothers who've lost, mothers who've been broken, mothers who've had everything taken. And she's fueling them with rage. This is deeper than street beef. This is pain turned into purpose. These women have nothing left to fear. And Alicia? She's not just mourning anymore. She's organizing. She's about to turn her grief into a weapon. She's hunting for her son's killer, and the trail is getting warmer. All it takes is one whisper, one wrong name, and Alicia will aim her. Fury at whoever she believes is responsible. If she thinks Reg or Nuck or even Jake had anything to do with it, directly or indirectly, it's over. No second chances, no warnings. Alicia wants revenge, and she's not going to stop until someone pays. Victor sees it all unraveling. He's trying to hold it together, but even he knows he's losing control. He's trying to keep Jake grounded, keep him focused, keep him safe. But how do you protect someone who's being pulled in every direction? Jake's loyalty to Reg is emotional. His ties to Nuck are dangerous. And now, with Alicia's silent war building in the background, it's all too much. Victor's stuck in the middle, again. But this time, he's not going to sit back. He's making moves too. Quiet ones, strategic ones. Because if he can't stop Reg from dragging Jake into the fire, he'll burn the whole plan down himself. That's the thing about Victor. He's not a hothead like Reg. He's patient. But when he strikes, he doesn't miss. And if it comes down to Reg versus Victor, brotherhood won't matter anymore. only survival. This is no longer a family drama. It's a full-on war. And everyone's picking sides. The streets are watching, the mothers are mourning. And Jake? He's just trying to make it out alive. But with every step he takes, the walls close in. Every loyalty he honors becomes a trap. Every truth he believes gets twisted into a weapon. The Chai is playing with fire this season, and episode 4 is about to explode. The tension in episode 4 is thick enough to cut with a knife, and it's only getting worse. Mother's Day isn't the warm, heartfelt gathering you'd expect. It's a powder keg ready to blow. Emmett bringing all his baby mamas together. Could have been a chance for healing or maybe some peace, but in the Chai's world, that peace never lasts long. What starts as a gathering meant to celebrate motherhood quickly spirals into something darker. Old grudges bubble to the surface. Rivalries clash and emotions run wild. You can almost feel the simmering anger and distrust in the air as Tiff, Kesha, Neva, and Shay circle each other like fighters in a ring. These women have been through hell together and apart, and while Season 7 has been about women taking control, supporting each other, this episode tests just how far that support can go when the stakes are life or death. The baby mama drama isn't just personal, it's political. It's a battlefield where alliances shift like sand, and every word carries weight. This isn't just about babies or broken relationships anymore. It's about survival. And on Mother's Day, that makes the whole thing even more brutal. Then, there's Alicia, and her gathering of grieving mothers adds a layer of raw, unfiltered pain to the episode. She's no longer the woman breaking down, she's a woman bent on vengeance. Her speech at that big table is the calm before the storm, a declaration that she won't stop until her son's killer is found. Alicia's grief has morphed into something fierce, something unstoppable. And it's not just her story. It's a call to arms for every mother who's lost something precious. You get the sense that what's coming next won't be pretty. Her mission could bring justice, sure, but it might also spark more violence. The Chi has always shown us that vengeance comes at a cost, and when Alicia's involved, that cost could be higher than ever. The line between justice and revenge is razor thin, and it's about to get blurred beyond recognition. With Alicia in this mindset, no one is safe. Not Reg, not Nuck, and definitely not anyone caught in the crossfire. Her fury might just change the entire game, and you can bet it's going to be painful to watch. Meanwhile, Jake's shooting is the moment everyone's talking about, and honestly, it hits like a gut punch. The trailer drops this bombshell without mercy. Jake, caught in the crossfire of a war he never wanted to be part of, ends up shot. The question isn't just if he'll survive, it's what this means for the fragile balance between the characters we've come to know. Jake has grown so much. He's building a life beyond the chaos, dreaming bigger than the streets that raised him. But this shooting threatens to pull him back into a violent world he desperately tried to escape. The uncertainty around his fate adds an electric charge to the episode. Every scene crackles with suspense because you never know if this will be the moment it all falls apart. And if Jake falls, the ripple effect will be devastating. Victor's protective instincts will ignite, turning him into a man on a mission. Nuck and Reggie's battle will become even bloodier, and Alicia's thirst for revenge will only deepen. It's a domino effect that the Chi is expertly setting up, and episode 4 is the tipping point. But the beauty of the Chai's storytelling is that even when things are darkest, it's never just black and white. Reg isn't a villain you can hate. Outright, he's complicated. Yes, he's ruthless and reckless, but you catch glimpses of a man haunted by his past, desperate for control in a world that left him behind. That makes his return all the more chilling, because you know this war isn't just about power. It's personal. And Jake? He's caught in the middle of that storm, trying to figure out who he is when the two most important men in his life are at war. His loyalty is pulled every which way, and with every decision, he risks losing more than just respect. He risks losing himself. The Chi doesn't shy away from the messy, painful truth of family and survival. It shows us that sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought with guns, but with love, trust, and betrayal. This episode is about all of that, and more. As the episode unfolds, expect the unexpected. The Chai Season 7 Episode 4 isn't just a continuation, it's a turning point. The stakes are higher, the danger closer, and the characters pushed to their limits. It's a reminder that in the Chai, peace is fragile, loyalty is tested, and the fight for survival never ends. Every choice here will matter, every alliance could break, and every secret could explode. This is more than television. It's a raw, unfiltered look at what happens when people you care about are forced to fight for their lives, their families, and their futures. And with Jake shot, Reg back and bloodthirsty, and Mother's Day turning into a battlefield, the Chi is showing us just how dark things can get. As the chaos in Episode 4 continues to unfold, the power dynamics shift in ways none of us fully expect, and the lines between friend and foe blur even more. Reg's return to the scene isn't just a blast from the past, it's a declaration of war, and he's not here to make peace. His ruthless hunger for control over Dada's old empire has set off a chain reaction that's about to tear the city apart. What makes Reg truly dangerous isn't just his willingness to fight, it's how he's willing to manipulate those around him, especially Jake. Jake's shooting is more than a tragic accident. It's a calculated move in Reg's larger plan. He knows that Jake is the key to securing his power, and by using Jake's injury as leverage, Reg hopes to force loyalty and submission. But Jake isn't the same scared kid anymore. He's toughened by the struggles and hardened by loss. The episode shows us Jake wrestling with his loyalty to Victor, his own dreams, and the complicated feelings he has for Reg. That internal conflict makes the tension even more unbearable. Will Jake stand with his brother Victor, who's been a father figure and protector, or will Reg's toxic influence pull him back into the violent family legacy? The emotional stakes are sky high, and every moment Jake spends caught between these forces is a moment closer to disaster. Victor's role becomes even more critical here. He's no longer just the older brother, he's the guardian of Jake's future, the shield protecting him from the darkness Reg wants to drag him back into. Victor's toughness isn't just about physical strength. It's about the fierce love and determination to keep his family safe. When Reg threatens to disrupt, that Victor is ready to fight back with everything he has. The episode hints at some explosive confrontations between these two men, with Victor refusing to let Reg pull Jake into his dangerous schemes. Victor knows that if Reg wins this battle, it could mean the end of everything Jake has worked for. His protectiveness is raw and real, and you can feel the weight of that responsibility bearing down on him. But Victor isn't just fighting Reg, he's also trying to hold the family together amid the rising chaos. With Alicia's vengeful quest, the fragile peace among the baby mamas, and the power struggle with Nuck, Victor's juggling more than one battle. He's a man pushed to the edge, and how he navigates these challenges will shape the future of the entire neighborhood. Meanwhile, Nuck is watching all this like a hawk, and he's not about to be outplayed. He's built his empire with blood, sweat, and years of strategy, and he knows better than anyone that letting Reg reclaim power without a fight would be suicide. Nuck's approach is calculated. He's patient but deadly. He's not just a street boss, he's a chess player, thinking several moves ahead. The episode teases that Nuck might even consider unlikely alliances to keep Reg at bay, including teaming up with Victor. The idea of these two men, both powerful in their own right, working together is chilling. It promises a showdown that could reshape the power structure of the entire city. But alliances in the Chi are fragile. Trust is hard to come by, and betrayal is always lurking around the corner. Nuck's moves are smart, but the question is whether he can outmaneuver Reg's recklessness, or if his own empire will crumble under the pressure. At the heart of this war is a deeper, more personal battle: family and legacy. Reg's return forces everyone to confront the past and what it means to carry the weight of family history. For Jake, this isn't just about survival, it's about defining who he is, separate from the violence that's defined his family for years. The episode dives into Jake's internal struggle in a way that's both heartbreaking and hopeful. He's fighting to break the cycle, to build something new, but the shadows of Reg and Dada's world keep pulling him back. The Chai captures this beautifully, the tension between wanting to escape your roots and being tied to them by blood and loyalty. It's a universal story wrapped in the gritty reality of Chicago's streets. Every decision Jake makes in episode 4 could change everything, not just for him, but for everyone around him. It's a reminder that in the Chai, the personal is always political, and the past never stays buried for long.